Christina from the Ladies League, and we're here today with the famous defender for the Western Sydney Wanderers, Daniel Georgievski. How are we today?
Hey, how are you?
We're not boiling to death?
No, I just like to sweat naturally, it's amazing.
For the people who don't know, it's a good 33 degrees here, so if you are going through something like 25 degrees, you're quite lucky. In West Sydney, we boil to death.
What's going on?
Yeah, no, nothing much.
Nothing much? What is this here? What is this?
This is a good old Kmart edition of table football. So instead of a boring interview, we thought we'd bring this out, play this, and also ask you questions, put you on the spot.
You didn't tell me what questions you're going to ask, so here we go. Let's go.
Don't worry, we'll get some fun ones. We'll get some personal deep ones.
Oh, you're going to get me off. If I forget to talk, it's because I'm concentrating too much.
Sweet. All right, let's start off.
Yeah.
Did you want to kick off first?
Well, we can't. The ball's not moving. How are we supposed to get it? All right, let's go.
All right, so first question. Good old typical question that you've probably been asked 1,000 times, right?
How do you play football?
Now, what possessed you to join the Western Sydney Wanderers now? You've been to Melbourne, you've been to Newcastle. Next stop was Western Sydney.
When I'm after Melbourne, I've get that ball out of there. After Melbourne, I just thought to give myself a bit of a challenge, and when I spoke to Newcastle Jets, they were just it just seemed like an interesting. I trusted my gut. That's probably the best way to say it. I trusted my gut, and I said, you know what, something seems like it's going to happen here. And oh yes, beautiful. See, I forget, It just seemed like a project that I was like interested in. Like they were building a new team. The owner was pretty much starting from fresh. It just seemed like a challenge, And I trusted my gut, and I said, I'm actually going to enjoy it, and probably we might succeed. And obviously, then I thought, after a year and a half, I got contacted by the Wanderers, and it seemed like the exact same thing. I just wanted to trust my gut, and and I think I've made a really right choice, because the way that everything has gone thus far, and the league hasn't started, I'm not regretting it. So
good
I've always said I wanted to come back to Sydney after 13 years.
Thank God.
Yeah, it just seemed like everything was right, like from the training facilities out here to the stadium to a new team. I know the coach was here from last year. I've worked with JP before, the assistant coach, and just everything. There wasn't many negatives. Let's just say that on not joining. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You're on one.
So I'm going to go back in time now and talk about how things. We're
going to remind me how old I am now.
No, but I'm going to talk about Marconi. So I'm going to talk about Marconi and how you left.
So that's why you scored. Yeah.
Was it 17 when you left?
I left when I was 18.
You were 18.
18 and a half. Yes, I finished my high school. I went to TAFE because I didn't know what else to do.
Joined a club.
Yeah, didn't really have any goals. I just thought I've always winged my life. Well, I was 18, didn't know what winging was, but from something as basic as just when you go out, have nothing organised to deciding where your fate is going to be. I've always winged it. So, I was playing for Macedonia at the time and the juniors, so I would fly up to Maso for a tournament or anything under 18s, and got scouted, got spotted, and went to Croatia, went for a trial. It was horrible. I was still jet lagged. It was, I get a call on Friday. They say be here by Monday. You got a game on Wednesday. There you go. And that was it. Yeah. So Friday, went home, packed my bags, left on Sunday. Told my family I'll either see you in 2 weeks or I'll see you in 4 months.
So was there anything you wanted to do apart from football?
No.
Well, the parents didn't say become a lawyer or a doctor?
I think I wanted to be an accountant, but that's only because the only subject I was good at in school was mathematics.
Are you serious? I sucked at it.
I was really good. English I wasn't good at, as you can tell. It's quality. Yeah.
So.
Sorry, go. Yep. What's the next personal question?
Next personal question. So we spoke a bit about you playing for the Macedonian national team.
Did we?
Yeah, you mentioned it. So you play for the national team rather than the Australian team. But what's it like playing for Macedonia?
Well, compared to what? I've never played for.
Just
I never got picked as a New South Wales Institute player. I never got picked for these elite things here. I was just a player, so I wouldn't really know what to relate to. I moved overseas. I didn't know the language.
Yeah.
Well, I knew a little bit. Macedonian. I remember Macedonia. My first. So I played for the generation older.
Yeah.
The 1987, and we had to write our name down in Macedonian.
Yeah.
In Kirilica.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to. Like I knew how to
Yeah.
read, but not like, you know, like my D looks like a little house. You get what I mean? I wasn't
So
to
does
that extent that like, I never really wrote.
Yeah.
I know how to speak well and the grammatic stuff, but to write and read, I'm very bad. So they said you have to write it down, and I just froze. And all the boys on their side ran upstairs, got to my passport, started like remembering how the letters were. By the time I came down, one of the boys already wrote it for me, so I was kind of cheering. I never had to write my name down.
Jeez.
So those little things I do remember, but yeah, it was just very, it was just new to me. So I had nothing to compare to. Like I said, like if I was here in the Institute of Sport or anything like that, then I'll go, yeah, camps were like this. There'll be a comparison. I just went on the blind. Even in Croatia, I'm just strict blind, and I had to learn how to clean, and I never turned on I actually didn't have a washing machine until 22, I think, 21. No, yeah, 20, 21. So 2 years I didn't have a washing machine. None of this stuff. I didn't wash by hand in the tub. I had to learn all this. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't think that coming from, you know, over there you'll understand. Over here,
Yeah, of course.
I just didn't have, you know, I had once a week my manager who used to do it, but I used to just grab my socks, the undies and all that, shirts, iron, never. That's how it was. You just, that wasn't going to turn me off doing what I, you know, had an opportunity to do. It wasn't a dream of mine to play. Like obviously every kid would be like, I want to play in the World Cup, but I never verbalized it. It was never like my goal was just that and nothing else mattered. I still enjoyed life in that regard, you know, ride BMX around and blah, but I never thought like, I'm going to make a career out of this. If anything, I was cut half the time and not allowed to move forward when I was here in Australia. Like, no, you have to stay in the reserves or you have to go into this. So, yeah, it was just a different approach. Thought, you know what, might as well. If I stayed here, I probably wouldn't be playing football.
That 1 year that you played against the Socceroos.
That was my last game.
Yeah, how'd that feel though?
I was playing in Australia, so I had a feeling like it was my last time I was coming up. Wasn't a feeling, but I remember it was a good game. I think we had a game 3 days before that, and like typical Macedonia, we dropped the lead. It was just one of those disappointing games where we should have won comfortably, but it just didn't happen. And then we had the Australian game next, 3 days after that, and then I had to fly. I was just worried about from the game. I had to fly back to Melbourne. The next day, jump on a flight, go to Wellington, and I fell asleep in the half time. Fell asleep in the game half time while Muskie was talking, not because of his speech, but because I was just absolutely exhausted. Then when I came back to Melbourne, I just was absolutely like I don't know where my body was. My mind was just absolutely exhausted, and then when the next, I guess, selection it was a change of coach again. And I remember speaking to the secretary, I just went, look man, I'm actually exhausted. I haven't stopped since I came to Australia back in September, so I needed some time off. And that was probably the last time I spoke to him, because it's a long trip just for one game.
Yeah.
Travel a day for one friendly or for it's not fair on only the club, but to myself and the other players that are there and trying to do something more. So look, it was a good game. It was an interesting game. I don't remember much of it. But
just remember being tired.
I remember both national anthems, and I was just singing it in my mind because I never sang the national anthem. Like, I'll probably get the words wrong, and the last thing I want is the camera to be facing me when I'm singing and I say the wrong word. Yeah. I don't like singing, obviously, but I remember in my mind I was just sounding out the words to the Australian national anthem as well, which was pretty funny. But yeah, it was just maybe when I retire, I'll remember. I haven't watched the game.
You'll recount the good old story.
Yeah, I think maybe, probably not. It would probably just lock away in that vault again, and I'll just totally forget that I used to play football. But yeah. I won. I kicked your ass just quietly.
Of course you did.
Smashed her. Like,
One
that's
good
bad,
photo,
considering that I don't like playing this.
That's what I'll watch after this. I'm probably going to end up throwing it on the field.
I wouldn't blame you. If you leave it here, someone will take it home.
I mean, if they want it, they can go for it. It'll probably fall apart in a bit.
Oh, I'm saying this would be taken off and someone will be whipping each other with it. You know, we're having some sort of fight. If someone comes out with a yellow little man on his cheek, it's probably this bloke here.
Oh, Christ.
It's probably our Matt Simon from last night's game.
So one good old final question. I know the season hasn't kicked off. I'm basically jumping the gun asking this question, but it's your first Sydney derby. You played in heaps of derbies. You played in for the Melbourne derby. You played the Big Blue. You played in.
Oh, not the. Is that? Yeah, that is a Big
Yeah.
Blue. Sorry, yeah, yeah.
First Sydney derby. What are you most looking forward to?
Well, the fact that the atmosphere is going to be electrifying. I think that in itself is just something to look forward to. Like I said, the game will come and go like this, but I think the build-up and everything behind it, and obviously, like you said, the season hasn't started yet, but that game there will. I think every derby, that team gets to say we're the bosses of this city, country, whatever it is, until we tell you again. And that's what a derby is. With Melbourne, it was like that with City. When City won it, very rarely, and they would beat us, they would walk held up high. But when we won it, it was expected of us. The last couple of years, I believe Sydney have won more derbies than the Wanderers. So being in that situation, I think that because it's a whole new stadium, it's pretty much a whole new team, it's a whole different ball game in that regard. So I'm actually looking forward, well, 2 games before that, but I'm actually looking forward to that one and just seeing how it is in comparison to the overseas one. And the one, I think the remaining one for me was crazy because
There's a good story behind that. You've got a scar on you somewhere from.
my forearm, yeah, from a
good
phone.
That was a Nokia, wasn't it?
It was one of those old Nokias where the steel comes out the back and cut my hand. I had to come off for a couple of minutes trying to get it stitched up.
What a story.
Yeah, it was 15 minutes delayed. A lot of phones got thrown. Like that was, I'm surprised how many people had phones off that. It was, iPhone came out. I didn't know it was that. Didn't know people still had those crap Nokias that the steel come out the back.
You're lucky your bloody arm is still together. I mean, it's a Nokia phone.
No, let me tell you. Lucky you got the skin for it. If I was white, you would see absolutely everything.
I mean, well, I'm screwed.
Flares thrown at your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Interesting.
Great stories. We don't have that here, but
I mean,
I think that's a whole different ballgame. That's an experience that you're lucky you came out of there without long-term physical or something bad happening to you, like in that regard. Like a little scar doesn't kill you, but if something is like massive, it's a different ballgame. But something like that's fine. But here, I think it would be like a grand final.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I'm expecting.
Which is great.
You know they're coming back.
Yeah,
Looking forward to
They're
it.
back in force. Oh, good. But yeah, it was wonderful speaking with you. Thanks for kicking my ass.
What's yours? That a 4 or 5?
I mean, I have no idea. We just had fun. We winged it.
Well, that's what you say when you lose.
I mean,
I was just having fun. Oh, yeah, I wasn't concentrating. Don't give me that.
In the last 3 seasons.
You must be that bad. How can you not learn this game?
Dude.
Dude, that's loser talk right there.
I suck at games in general.
You should have put a billiard table with you on this one.
It was wonderful speaking with you. Thank you
thank you.
for having the time to
Thank you
spend
for
with
coming
us.
out and getting a bit of a tan at the same time.
I'll be cheering if I do get a 10.
Hey, walk back to the car slowly. You'll be all right. You won't get that much of it.
But thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
No
Good
worries.
luck.
Thanks for coming out.
And yeah, we'll see each other again throughout the season.
Definitely.
No
Thank you.
worries.